So, today we're checking out another new AI model called OmniWeaving. Now, this isn't just a text-to-video or image-to-video model. It's actually a unified video generation system capable of multimodal tasks, including video editing and video reasoning, all within one single model, OmniWeaving. This is built on the Hunyuan Video 1.5 backbone. As you can see, the development team is led by Tencent's Hunyuan team, who created these model weights. Starting in April 2026, they released the model weights and GitHub repositories for coding, inference, and training. If you check out that page, you'll find tons of info describing the model's architecture, how OmniWeaving actually works, and what it's built on. It uses multi-large language models, basically language models with vision capabilities, alongside diffusion transformer models that handle video generation. So, when you input a video for video-to-video generation, you can also perform video editing tasks using this one single model. It's not limited to the traditional image-to-video or text-to-video tasks typical of diffusion transformer architectures. Check this out. You can input a video, an image, your data, and your text prompts. Feed all that into the text tokenizer and text encoder for processing. Then, you can activate something really cool called thinking mode. By leveraging language models here, we can turn on thinking mode. The model, as a whole package, pre-processes your input data before generating the video. It helps plan what's suitable for the image or video editing task, ensuring smoothness during the editing process, and then generates the video output for you. However, right now, when I looked at the code, thinking mode only runs with text-to-video and image-to-video tasks, so I'm wondering if this thinking capability is currently limited to those traditional text-to-video or image-to-video scenarios. But one awesome feature of this AI model is definitely its thinking mode. You can activate it using multimodal large language models to analyze both your visual and text inputs, helping you plan the video generation before it even starts the sampling steps. Another standout feature of this unique model is its deep stacking mechanism, which leverages QuenVL behind the scenes for video generation. If you look at their examples, it's quite similar to how Seed Dance works. What really interests me about this AI model is its multi-image to video capability. Think of it like reference to video, but instead of one reference image, you input multiple images. You reference objects within those images to generate a brand new video, like in this example. Let's walk through some of these examples. One I saw here looks super useful for e-commerce marketing. Imagine you have an influencer or a person's photo, plus a product image. Then, your third image is a background, say, a bedroom or living room scene. You prompt it to show that person holding the bag and talking about it within the video. Just like that, you can create a UGC-style video of someone reviewing a product. There are tons of cases where you can apply this, especially in my work with e-commerce marketing to generate UGC content. Another way, as you can see, is using multiple images for reference to video generation. Here, you have two people and a background image. In this case, a car interior. The system maintains consistent styles for both characters based on the reference images. And notice the text prompts here. They don't need to be long or overly detailed. You can just reference the objects in the first image. In this case, it's the woman from the first image and the man from the second. The model auto-detects them with such simple prompts. I've tried this locally too, and it works. My test case was based on this example, and I got results like this. This feature really piqued my interest, along with the video-to-video capabilities. Take a look at these examples. Here, you see the input video, a character talking outside a parking lot with a separate background image. Basically, you can prompt it to replace the video's background using the provided image. You get your output video. No manual masking needed within the framework. I tested this using the Python inference code released by Tencent, and it worked flawlessly. For instance, I tried swapping not the background, but the character's clothing. In this screen capture screenshot from my Gradio web UI, and look at the output, it followed my text prompt perfectly. The original video was generated using LTX image to video as the source, where the lady wore a black dress. The output? Exactly as requested. Yeah, there's some gibberish text on the screen, but it's just proof of concept that it works for replacing objects within a video using simple text prompts. Now, regarding performance and benchmarking, I won't dive too deep into all those numbers, but here's something important. OmniWeaving, whether with or without thinking mode, uses about 8.3 billion parameters for the diffusion transformer. The text encoder, Qwen3VL, adds another 7 billion parameters. For an all-in-one video generation and editing model, that's actually quite small compared to other AI models on the list, like WAN 2.2 or Skyreels V3, which sit around 14 billion parameters, but typically handle only one or two specific tasks. OmniWeaving is genuinely interesting, and I've been paying close attention to it since late October last year when trends around video and image editing started popping up frequently. The technology keeps getting better and better. I'm particularly interested in its applications for both video and image generation. So let's explore how we can use this AI model. On Tencent's Hugging Face page, you'll find the official model weights. You'll see notes on updates and other details. What matters most to you is the file size. And yes, this is a massive file. Altogether, it's about 55 gigabytes, including all subfolders for the VAE, upsampler, transformer, text encoder, scheduler, and everything needed to run the model. Don't forget, we also need Qwen3VL to kickstart this fine-tuned text encoder. You need Qwen3VL installed separately to run the fine-tuned text encoder here. Additionally, for extra fine-tuning tasks using these fine-tuned models, you'll need that setup. I've also created an FP8 quantized version. Listed under the quantization section of the model weights, you'll see my naming convention, Hunyuan Video OmniWeaving FP8. Clicking that link takes you to my quantization repository. I primarily converted the diffusion transformer and the text encoder within these weights to FP8 because those two files are the largest. The rest aren't nearly as heavy, so I focused on converting just those two. If you're running the Tencent Hunyuan Video OmniWeaving repo using their Python code for inference, follow their instructions to download the model weights and set everything up. That's covered in the download_checkpoint.md markdown file. It clearly shows the folder structure and where each file should be located. As I mentioned earlier, the Qwen3VL models here are based on Qwen 2.5 VL models. So you'll need to download those base models. There are instructions in the repo for downloading them from the Qwen repositories to run the LLM. Regarding quantization, I've reduced the sizes significantly, as shown in this chart. The text encoder, originally 16 gigabytes, drops to 7 gigabytes after FP8 quantization, saving about 50% of storage space. The diffusion model shrinks from 31 gigabytes down to roughly 7.9 gigabytes, almost 8 gigabytes total. In this FP8 repo, the diffusion transformers will be located in the transformer folder, where you'll see those approximately 8 gigabyte files saved. Why such a huge difference? Well, the original Tencent model weights use FP32 precision. Even if you download them and run locally, you often need to modify the code to run in BF16 for most GPUs. That's why the original weights are so large for a single file. After trimming blocks down to FP8, the text encoder also halves in size, from 16 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes. So if you have limited VRAM or RAM, you can definitely download this quantized model weight to run locally. Currently, ComfyUI hasn't released the latest integration update for this model yet, but the intentions and code are ready. Let's wait for their codebase review and see when they approve it so we can run it natively in ComfyUI soon. Today, we're going to run this OmniWeaving video generation model using Python code. I forked the OmniWeaving repository and made some modifications. First, the original Tencent GitHub repo was designed for Linux only with pipelines that didn't support Windows. My modified version now handles Windows OS users. Secondly, I adjusted the VAE decoding logic. By default, it uses dist-all-gather, an architecture for multi-GPU setups. That works great on multi-GPU servers, but if you're running locally on a single GPU workstation like mine, I had to change the logic to fit a single GPU environment. Third, I added a web UI for inference. Originally, it just used the generate.py Python script, which meant typing arguments manually in the command prompt, a tedious task. I made it more convenient for myself and others by integrating a Gradio interface to handle all video generation tasks easily. Since this AI model supports so many features beyond just text to video or image to video, having a web interface makes managing all those tasks much smoother. I also updated the requirements.txt file to include dependencies for Gradio and libraries needed for single GPU and Windows compatibility. Talking about backend dependencies. Since this is based on Hunyuan Video 1.5, installation shares similarities with Hunyuan Video 1.5. It generally uses flash attention. FlexBlock attention runs well on Linux machines, but for Windows, I modified the pipeline to use SDPA, scaled.product attention, which is default in PyTorch. I also enabled the Sage Attention argument in the Gradio web UI. If you have Sage Attention installed in your virtual environment, you can enable it to run this model efficiently. Next, let's talk about file size and VRAM consumption. Using the original Tencent model weights requires significant VRAM during runtime. In my modified Python repo, I included 4-bit quantization options. When using the Gradio app, enabling this option helps reduce memory usage during runtime. While FP8 models help certain users, they aren't always advantageous for runtime performance. Enabling 4-bit quantization offers better VRAM savings for runtime performance. Let's check out how to run this. All setup steps are documented in the guide, applicable for both Windows and Linux. I've included specific steps for Linux users and alternative command prompts. Windows works fine on both platforms. As mentioned earlier, I adjusted the VAE tiled decoding logic to work seamlessly with single GPUs, while remaining compatible with multi-GPU setups if detected. Here's another cool thing. If you find the command prompt difficult, you can even use AI agents. Simply send the markdown files to an AI agent, ask it to understand the CLI of generate.py, and it can help you generate the necessary command prompts using natural language. That's another efficient way to use the CLI with this Python code. Take your time following the steps. Create a virtual environment to safely run the Python code without affecting your main system. Just copy and paste the commands as instructed. I won't explain every copy-paste step in detail here. Instead, I'll show you a demo of how the Gradio web UI works. To get started, open your command prompt in the OmniWeaving folder and type the virtual environment activation script. You'll see the environment name appear in brackets. Next, run the Gradio app by typing python-gradio.py. Once you press enter, it initializes the Gradio URL. Click the link, and the web interface pops up in your browser. Here's the full setup for running this locally. You have options for text-to-video, image-to-video, interpolation, first and last frames, reference-to-video, multi-image-to-video, and editing. For editing, you can input a video as a reference and use text prompts for stylization or object manipulation. Lastly, there's text, image, and video editing, the craziest feature. You can combine text prompts, images, and video into one conditional editing task. Whatever video you input, along with the reference image and text prompts, focuses on editing your condition video, not generating a new video from scratch. These are all the tasks described in the GitHub repo, which I've already implemented. The final option is reasoning-aligned video generation. Once you have Qwen3VL and the text encoder for this AI model, you can try text-to-video and image-to-video. Notice the brain icon, not a zombie brain, but a pink-colored one. Enable this feature to activate multi-language models for your video generations. Highlighted in brackets here are the settings for text-to-video, image-to-video, and first/last frame video generation. These three types can utilize thinking mode before the sampling process. Below the media input section are general video generation settings. You can choose different aspect ratios, landscape, vertical, square, and other common sizes. I've set default widths and heights to match the AI model's requirements, avoiding mismatched sizes. Video length is crucial. Even on my workstation, I found that over 81 frames becomes too memory intensive. So, I stick with 81 frames for 5-second videos. Although I'm using the FP32 models published by Tencent, I run them in BF16 data type during runtime. Still, memory consumption is high, not just the 55 gigabytes of files, but also runtime memory usage, often exceeding 90% of GPU memory during VAE decoding. Sampling itself is manageable, around 30 gigabytes of VRAM usage. The heaviest part is definitely VAE decoding. Other settings help optimize computing. I'm using Sage Attention, BF16 offloading, and other offloading options. Torch.compile also works here. Additional caching options are available below. Leave them at default settings unless you know what you're doing. Advanced options include the model path, required, and optional LoRa paths. You can add .safetensors files, LoRa folders, or adapter folder paths. If you're running on low RAM, enable the 4-bit quantization NF4 option, otherwise you'll hit out-of-memory errors immediately. Let's start with basic stuff. Text to video. Try an easy prompt with steady camera motion. The character actions and camera movement shouldn't be too aggressive, but there should be some motion. When it runs, processing logs appear in this section, not in the command prompt unless errors occur. They show settings like aspect ratio, caching, and toggled options. Don't panic if you see them, they're not errors. At the checkpoint loading stage, files load into memory. Then, the text encoder kicks in. Wait for the video generation, then come back to see the result. Here's the first video generated from our example text. On the left, you see the prompt. On the right, the generated video. I've set it to automatically save outputs in the output folder within your Omni directory. Browse the files here. You'll see the folder structure, including the output folder containing all generated results. This helps keep things organized during multi-video generations. Regarding inference time, on my workstation with an RTX 6000 Pro, generating this 5-second video took 2 minutes and 28 seconds with 30 steps. Tencent recommends 50 steps by default, but for local AI runtime, 30 steps is usually sufficient unless you need ultra-high quality. The same applies to image to video. I won't demonstrate every feature. I'll focus on what makes OmniWeaving unique. Reference to video and video editing. For example, here I upload images for one video generation. Let's try multi-referencing, placing 2 characters into a music concert environment with Slash playing guitar on stage. We want the 2 characters in the foreground. Okay, attempting reference to video. This is my second attempt. Both took about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. In the first attempt, the text prompt was mostly followed, and the 2 people appeared. The musician background matched, but it missed the last image showing Slash on stage. In the second attempt, Slash is on stage, but the other characters lack consistent style. It's still hit or miss with multiple images. When I tested with only 2 reference images, stability improved significantly. Using 2 character reference images plus text-generated elements seems to be the sweet spot. More than 2 references tend to get messy. Next, let's test instruction-based video editing. Like other instruction-based models, you upload a video, then use simple text prompts to remove items, change objects, or alter colors. No masking required. For example, I generated this video previously using LTX. Let's say I want to change the shirt color to black and the hair to blonde. The prompt is straightforward, natural language, no complex instructions. Here's the output. Changing clothing and hair color worked perfectly. Comparing it to the original input video, the character's face remains identical, maintaining facial identity. The background environment stays consistent too. That's the power of OmniWeaving's instruction-based video editing. So far, this AI model is incredibly interesting, with plenty more to explore. Let's wait for the ComfyUI update. Once native nodes are integrated for Hunyuan video and OmniWeaving, it'll be much more convenient for many users. We'll revisit this later to see how it performs. With so many features packed into one single model, video editing, multimodal tasks, and more, this is definitely shaping the future of the AI video market. We'll see how trends evolve. See ya.